For some celebrities, their lives depict the opposite of the happily ever after that movies often portray. This is the real-life version of 27 celebrities who have tragically lost children. Debbie Reynolds' daughter, Carrie Fisher, was aboard an 11-hour flight from London to Los Angeles. When she went into cardiac arrest, she would pass away in the hospital. Just one day after her daughter died, Debbie Reynolds would unfortunately suffer the same fate. Debbie Reynolds' son Todd said, "The last thing she said this morning was that she was very, very sad about losing Carrie and that she would like to be with her again." 15 minutes later she suffered a severe stroke. Dean Martin's son, Dean Paul Martin, a pop singer, actor, and captain in the California Air National Guard, passed away in a fatal plane crash during a military training flight on March 21, 1987. Paul was 35 at the time of the accident. Friends would say Dean Martin never got over the loss of his son. Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's wife of nearly 20 years, suffered a terrible tragedy when Kobe and her daughter died in a helicopter crash near Los Angeles. 7 other people died as well. They were on their way to a basketball tournament in Thousand Oaks, California. Vanessa Bryant said, she and her 3 surviving daughters have been completely devastated. She is the former wife of singer Elvis Presley, as well as co-founder and former chairwoman of Elvis Presley Enterprises, the company that turned Graceland into one of the top tourist attractions in the United States. But she has had her fair share of tragedy, starting with the loss of her grandson Benjamin Keough, who died at the age of 27, and now she has lost her only daughter Lisa Marie Presley, when she tragically had a heart attack at the age of 54. Before Paul Newman passed away, the Hollywood star reflected on the loss of his only son. Scott Newman, who was also an actor, died in 1978 at the tender age of 28. Newman, who passed away in 2008 at age 83, detailed his heartbreak in a memoir published posthumously, titled Paul Newman: The Extraordinary Life of an Ordinary Man. In the book, Newman feared that his son felt he was in competition with his famous father. Was there some way I might have told him he didn't have to be like me? Newman wondered. That he didn't have to do macho things and could just be himself. Newman never got over the heartbreak of losing his son. ABBA star Princess Annie Frid-Lyngstad, better known as Frida, may be in one of the most popular and successful bands of all time, but she has suffered a lot throughout the course of her life. Not only did she lose her husband, Prince Rutso, but she also suffered the loss of her daughter, and Lotte, the young woman, who was just 30 years old at the time, lost her life after sustaining injuries in a catastrophic car accident in Livonia, New York. Vince Neil from the band Motley Crue lost his daughter Skylar after she was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, a kidney cancer affecting children, according to an article Neil wrote for People. After 6 operations, chemotherapy and radiation, she died on August 15, 1995. This ordeal is something no parent should have to go through, the heavy metal singer wrote. Scott Newman, who was also an actor, died in 1978 at the tender age of 28. Carol O'Connor said, "Nothing will give me any peace," best known for his iconic role as Archie Bunker on All in the Family. "I've lost a son. And I'll go to my grave without any peace over that," he said. Loretta Lynn's experienced untimely tragedies that shook the singer's family forever. The first tragedy was when her eldest son Jack Benny Lynn rode his horse without company around the family estate near Waverly, Tennessee in 1984. He was only 34 years old. According to reports, the eldest son tried to cross a river in the property, fell off his horse and drowned. Then in 1996, her husband of 50 years passed away, and she also lost her eldest grandson Jeffrey Allen Lynn. Bill Bixby is best known for the CBS science fiction drama series, The Incredible Hulk, as Dr. David Banner. However, Bixby's most personal challenge occurred when his 6-year-old son Christopher died in March 1981. While on a weekend ski trip with his ex-wife at Mammoth Lakes, Christopher suffered from a severe throat infection, called acute epiglottitis, going into a coma and cardiac arrest after doctors subsequently carried out a tracheotomy. Carol Burnett, born April 26, 1933, is an American actress, comedian, singer, and writer from the golden age of Hollywood. Her groundbreaking comedy variety show, The Carol Burnett Show, was one of the first of its kind to be hosted by a woman. Sadly, her daughter Carrie Hamilton died January 20, 2002, at the age of 38 from pneumonia, as a complication of lung and brain cancer. Eddie Montgomery, who was one half of the superstar country band Montgomery Gentry, has had a life filled with tragedy. Most recently, the other half of the band, Troy Gentry, died in a helicopter crash on September 8, 2017. Montgomery has seen what seems like more than one man's fair share of tragedy. He's also lost 2 sons. His 3-year-old son died in a car accident in 1991, and his 19-year-old son, Hunter, tragically died in 2015. The actor has achieved great success in his acting career during his time in Hollywood, but the grief Keanu Reeves has experienced is more depressing than any award-winning drama film. His first tragedy occurred in 2000, when Reeves' girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, delivered their daughter stillborn, following an 8-month pregnancy. When their daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves, died, it was a negative blow to their relationship, and the couple eventually called it quits just weeks later. A year later, his ex Jennifer Syme died, when she rolled her car several times after sideswiping another vehicle. After losing both his daughter and the mother of his deceased child, Reeves has reportedly led a lonely life. After his son made an impressive acting debut, alongside his father, Sylvester Stallone, in Rocky V when he played his on-screen son, it was evident that the young Stallone had great promise as a future Hollywood star. Following his appearance in the notorious movie franchise, Sage's career in the film industry began to take off. Throughout his time spent in the entertainment industry, Sage did work in front and behind the camera. Tragically and suddenly, he sadly passed away at 36 years old. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office said that the actor's son died of atherosclerosis coronary artery disease, which caused a heart attack. While musician Eric Clapton has endured many highs with his professional career, his role as a father suffered a devastating blow when his young son died. The guitarist's 4-year-old son fell out of an open Manhattan apartment window after the housekeeper had left it open while cleaning. Connor, his son, fell a total of 49 floors. Clapton was inspired to pen his infamous song, Tears in Heaven. Following the passing of his young boy, the singer welcomed 3 daughters, Julie Rose, Ella May, and Sophie Bell, with his second wife, Melia McHenry. Actress Mia Farrow has an impressive resume, complete with famous movies and high-profile relationships, but she is also recognized for the love and devotion she has for children. Having been a mother of 14 children at one point in her life, the 77-year-old has experienced the pain no mother ever wishes to feel once, let alone 3 times. Her first loss occurred in 2000 when her daughter, whom she adopted from Vietnam, died from a heart condition at just 19 years old. Farrow later lost another daughter, Lark, in 2008 when she died from an unknown cause. And in September of 2016, the mother experienced her most recent loss when her son Thaddeus was found dead in his car. Marie Osmond, singer, actress, author, philanthropist, and talk show host, and a member of the show business family the Osmonds. Although she was never part of her family's singing group, she gained success as a country and pop music artist and television host in the 1970s and 1980s. Marie Osmond's son's passing is just another example that no matter how much money and fame you possess, tragedy can still make an appearance, and a devastating one. At just 18 years old, Osmond's son, Michael, jumped and fell 8 floors from his Los Angeles apartment. This was a complete shock to Osmond and her family. After losing his first wife, Whitney Houston, after her tragic passing, Bobby Brown suffered another loss, just 3 years after Whitney's passing. Bobby Christina Brown was the daughter and only child of singers Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Bobby Christina Brown was found face down in her bathtub on January 31, 2015. She was still alive. CPR was administered and she was transported to North Fulton Hospital in Roswell, Georgia. Doctors placed Brown in an induced coma after determining her brain function was significantly diminished, and her family was told a meaningful recovery would be a miracle. Brown died in hospice care on July 26, 2015, at age 22. Her passing was considered similar to that of her mother's, as both had died from effects of being submerged in a bathtub. The autopsy found no obvious underlying cause, and no significant injuries. John Travolta and his wife Kelly Preston may have achieved great success with their acting careers, but their picture-perfect life was dented when their 16-year-old son Jet died. While enjoying a vacation in the Bahamas in 2009, the actor's son hit his head in a bathtub and suffered a deadly seizure. His problematic history with seizures may have played a hand in this. Sadly, 11 years later, John Travolta would also lose his wife Kelly Preston. On July 12, 2020, Preston died at the age of 57, 2 years after she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. The famous heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson, has had an accomplished career within the ring, but his personal life was put through the ringer following the passing of his young daughter in 2009. Tyson's 4-year-old daughter, Exodus, suffered a devastating tragedy. The former boxer's daughter was strangled by a cord connected to a treadmill, and was found by her 7-year-old brother. While the treadmill was not presumed to be running when the incident occurred, it was concluded that her passing was the result of playing with the cords. In a 2011 appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Tyson opened up about his daughter's passing, and discussed how it forced him to clean up his act and live a sober lifestyle. Mary Tyler Moore lost her only son, Richard Meeker Jr., when he tragically died at the age of 24 in 1980. Anthony Quinn's 2-year-old son, Christopher, with first wife Catherine DeMille, accidentally drowned in 1941 in W.C. Field's Lily Pond. Christopher had been missing from Quinn's home for only a few minutes before his body was found. Anthony Quinn, April 21, 1915 to June 3, 2001. In 1968, 2 of Roy Orbison's 3 sons died in a house fire. Roy Dwayne Orbison was 11, his brother, Anthony, was 6. Roy Orbison, April 23, 1936 to December 6, 1988. Before all the infamy surrounded O.J. Simpson, his daughter, Erin, whom he had with his first wife Marguerite Whitley, died in 1979, just before her 2nd birthday, after she drowned in the family swimming pool. In 2009, Vanessa Redgrave lost her daughter Natasha Richardson to a tragic ski accident. Richardson fell in a beginner's trail while taking a ski lesson at the Mont Tremblant ski resort in Quebec. Richardson brushed it off and declined medical assistance. She sustained a head injury and died from an epidural hematoma. On January 16, 1997, disgraced comedian and TV star Bill Cosby's son, Ennis Cosby, was murdered after he stopped to fix a flat tire along the freeway in Los Angeles. At approximately 1 a.m. on January 16, 1997, Ennis Cosby was driving a Mercedes-Benz convertible on the interstate when he pulled over to change a flat tire. A Ukrainian-born teenager, Mikhail Markasev, and two friends were at a nearby park-and-ride lot using the phone. Markasev approached Cosby to rob him, but instead shot him. Ennis Cosby was the third of Bill Cosby's 5 children and said to be the inspiration for the character of Theo Huxtable on the hit TV sitcom The Cosby Show, which originally aired from 1984 to 1992. In December of 2021, television host Nick Cannon shared the devastating news with fans. Cannon's 5-month-old son, Zen Scott Cannon, had died from a brain tumor. The tumor caused a buildup of fluids in the child's skull called hydrocephalus. In his post he said, "Over the weekend I lost my youngest son to a condition called hydrocephalus. That is pretty much a malignant, midline brain tumor, brain cancer," Cannon said on The Nick Cannon Show. Cannon's 7th child was diagnosed after his father noticed that he had a cough. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also check out our community tab for lots of interesting Hollywood facts and pictures.